Hey YouTube, it's me again, and I'm about to do more of my top 100 movie sequels that I think suck ass. So the worst movie sequels. Now I'm up to number 86, which is Wishmaster 4. Yeah, I didn't like this sequel. The first three films I like. I like the first two films with Andrew Divoff, and even the third film has its moments. But 4 is terrible. They try to give the Wishmaster one-liners like Freddy Krueger, and it doesn't work. It's not funny, it's not scary, it's not thrilling. It's just completely boring. The characters do stupid decisions. There's no one memorable in the cast. And I just thought it was a very lame way to end the franchise of Wishmaster. They should have just stopped with the second one. Third one, it could have been, it should have just ended there too. But, this one was not needed. I'm sorry. See the first two films, make up your mind if you like it or not. And the third one, and see it at your own risk. But 4, stay away from this movie. It sucks. Okay, now number 85 is Beethovens Fifth. Yeah, this is the fifth installment of the Beethoven franchise. Yes, this is a franchise. I love the first two films. I watched them as a kid. I think they're very fun family movies with with Beethoven, the Saint Bernard, and I like the Newton family. But once they got to part 3, it started to go downhill. I mean, I don't mind 3 and 4. I think they're okay time wasters. 5 is terrible. 5 is so boring, and there's some crazy lady in a cave that's just out of her nut, and that just took me out of the film. I don't even remember the plot. The only decent thing I remember, is Davy Chase, the girl that does the voice of Lilo and Lilo and Stitch. She was okay. Other than that, I don't care for the sequel. It's a terrible Beethoven movie. I don't think it should have. They shouldn't have gone past 2, to be honest. 3 and 4, they're all right, but if they never happen, no one would be any other wiser. I think 5 sucks. It's one of the worst sequels ever made, no doubt about it. And it was direct to video, so it was doomed from the start. Ah, that's good. Okay, now number 84 is Candyman Day of the Dead. Yeah, this one was lame. I really don't care for this Candyman movie. I like the first film. Tony Todd is fantastic in all these films. He's not the problem with 3. Even part 2, I like the girl in part 2. But this movie, I don't remember anything about it. I remember it was during like some Mexican holiday that I don't give a shit about. I'm sorry. I'm not Mexican, so I don't care about any Mexican holidays. It was boring. Tony Todd is the best thing in it, but he doesn't save the film. The kills are not memorable at all. It doesn't have an atmosphere like the first film had, and even the second film. No creepy images, just nothing. It's flat. I mean, it's low on the list because it didn't piss me off as much. My top 50, from 50 to 1, I really hate those sequels. They really disappointed me more. This was just like a throwaway sequel. Just see the first 2 Candyman films. That's all I suggest. 4, I mean, I'm glad there wasn't a part 4. And I'm glad that this franchise is dead because, yeah, Day of the Dead, the day that this franchise died. So, that's number 84. Number 83 is a sequel that at first I did like it in the theater. Looking back on it, I'm like, it's not a good sequel. And that's Hoodwink 2. The first movie's no masterpiece, but I do like the fact I like Anne Hathaway singing in the movie. I think she does a good job as Red Riding Hood. The voice cast made me laugh. The second one was just way too random. I mean, there was way too many characters. A lot of actors wasted, like Brad Garrett as this tall giant. And I think Wayne Newton does a voice of an instrument that he was trying. I mean, they were trying, but the animation just looked awful compared to the first film. I prefer Despicable Me. I think it's much funnier and better animated. This film is just forgettable. Just if you want to show your kids one of these films, just show them the first one. Usually the first one is better than the sequel. In this case, it is. Yeah, so that's number 83. Number 82 is a sequel to one of the most iconic horror thrillers of the 1960s, and that's The Birds 2. Why would they make a sequel to The Birds? I don't know, because it wasn't about money, because I don't even think this movie was in theaters. It has some good gore in it, but that's about it. I don't remember anything in the movie. I only remember a few kills from the birds, like they killed a dog, and I remember the lady that was in the movie. I like the actress that's in the film, but it's just a lackluster sequel compared to the original. I love The Birds. That movie freaked me out when I was a kid. I saw it at a young age and it was PG-13. And I said, why is it PG-13? I'm like, oh, because it has a lot of gore in it. Because they don't curse in the original Birds. But it's a classic. It did not need a sequel. This is like Psycho. That Psycho didn't need a remake or a sequel. I do like Psycho 2. That's not on this list. Or Psycho 3. But The Birds didn't need a sequel. I'm sorry. It's a standalone movie. The first one is creepy. You're not going to top it. Tippi Hedren didn't come back for part 2. And it's a reason why it's a sucky ass sequel. Okay, I'll stop it.